Hello, everybody. This after technical difficulties, I think we're starting with on my channel, Axus channel, and we'll try to switch on the NSG's channel after that. I don't know if anybody is watching yet, but I'll try linking the streams and stuff.
Until then, yeah, this is American Continentals 2024, the first of the big continental tournaments.
Yeah, did you have a game that we could jump onto?
Yeah, table 41.
Yeah, seems great.
The King versus Wentgon. The King is playing Hashiko, and Wentgon is playing Dragon Fusion, which I think is kind of one of the classic matchups of the meta at the moment. This kind of Lacosta grid, Glacier style Dragon Fusion versus the very classic 45 card Ashen Epilogue Hashiko.
Oh yeah, going for that second loop, trying to get all of that econ used fully.
Which we're on turn 9 and there are 4 cards left in the stack. So
yeah,
and only one agenda squad. So I think we're very likely to see that play this game. As a bit of a recap where we are so far, we had quite a slow start from the Dragon Fusion. We have this Nisei Mark II scored now, and I think we know that the card in server 1 is an upgrade. As for the Hashiko, we're still waiting for the Bellsword to come down, but otherwise the rig is pretty much fully online. And the two very important cards, I think, to pay attention to that are installed are the K2CP Turbine, which everyone knows and loves, and its little brother, Ice Carver, which means that unless Wentgon's packed something incredibly spicy, there isn't going to be a piece of ice in the deck that costs more than 3 to break, and all of the big barriers are going to cost max 2. So
yeah.
A very commanding position from the Hashiko here.
Yeah, typically like this Dragon Fusion list, the only ice that actually can tax the runner out is something like a Bran, but Ice Carver actually kind of invalidating that one as well. So like biggest tax you will get is like Anansi for 3, Saisentan for 3. Anything else is
that Saisentan resed on HQ, which is good. But the real way that the Dragon Fusion is going to tax out the runner in this game is through those Nisei counters, through the Dragon Fusion ability, and through border control.
Yeah.
If we get a second Nisei scored, then it's not unlikely that the Dragon Fusion can set up an entire turn cycle where, if they want to deny the runner any accesses, they can. So it'll be very interesting to see where we go from here. But yeah, I like Hashiko's chances.
Yeah, currently after now probably getting those 2 labor rats back in, allowing you to go for the double deck, basically using Ashen Epilogue.
Yeah, interestingly, we picked up the moshing, so we do want to squeeze every drop of value out of these last 8 cards, which I respect. But we do have the full Breaker Suite down now, so yeah.
Yeah, just letting the corporation get that installed thing on server 1.
I'm fairly confident. I have to check back in the logs. I was watching this game just before we started, but fairly confident that is. We might know that that's a biovault.
Oh yeah, then no use actually charging into there yet. When you actually can just set up in the meantime.
Now, genotyping. This isn't a card that I can remember the text of. Trash 2 cards from the top R&D, then shuffle up to 4 cards from archives into R&D. Remove genotyping from the game instead of trashing it.
How influenced are we when you have to play this instead of Spin Doctor?
Yeah,
I mean, like this
we
actually
might be saving it for something big on the Ice Suite, maybe.
Yeah, and also this is a tool that actually allows you to increase your deck amount. So maybe it's worth it in those like slower matchups. Yeah, we also have like sprints and everything. So I think we're just going like full on, trying to use Cook Lacosta and build up in the meantime.
Interesting, very interesting. I wonder if there is, there aren't a lot of advanced sport upgrades in standard, are there? There's just for the Distant Risk City Grid and Biovolt, right? So yeah, I'd be very surprised if there's anything else, but it could be there could be something fun and spicy. The twinning is also, I think, in these kind of slower, more glacier matchups, like the most impactful card. Just being able to get those counters and then go for your big accesses is always huge. More, even if it's not hitting agendas or key pieces, ends up doing a huge amount of work. The amount of pressure being represented on that side of the board there is massive. And we're going for a price just to get that daily casts we must have known would be in the stack for nothing. And yeah, now this is the point where we're fully expecting to see the labor rights.
Yeah, like any minute now, basically.
Yeah, to have set up this rig by turn 10 and have 18 credits left in your credit pool, very, very rude.
Yeah, and now just going for the full value with just getting everything back.
Yeah, and we can more one of these cards, see two of them. Like there's.
Yeah, it's a really tough position for the corporation currently.
Yeah. If you want to take a quick whilst hammer, interesting. Okay, so some more influence.
Oh
and we
yeah,
went for the sure gambles, not the labor rights, which is a very interesting choice.
are just trying to cook all the value out of here until we can.
But yeah, so overall, American Continentals this is a 94-person tournament, so an absolutely massive online tournament. And in that we've got 35 Hashikos, so that's about 37% of the field on Hashiko, and I imagine most of it is going to be this Ashniko style, just value good stuff for Shiko. Although we might see some crews, some chisel charms, you never know.
I think this like Rekushiko is the like real threat of the current format, and everybody has been prepping for this.
Yeah, and the only other deck that I think you could really argue is the strongest deck in the format at the moment is Arasana, and that's the second most represented ID across the tournament. 18 Arasana, so almost 19% of the field. So almost about half of the number of Hashiko. So but still a sizable amount.
Yeah.
Hashiko, and Arasana, and then on the Corp side, we're looking at Sports, Ob, PD, and strangely Asmari on a really high representation. So it'll be interesting to see if that's a.
I think that's kind of a bit of a result from NAPC Boston. That was just last weekend or something.
Yeah,
where we saw like sport metal and everything being in huge representation.
Yeah, so we had the Tempo sports metal decks from last weekend, which were playing Audacity. Looked like the old Blame Changer list.
Yeah.
And and then now we've also seen in other tournaments and around people playing cards like Amani Sinai, and those good MBN assets and putting them in sports, so that'd be really interesting. We'll see some more of those as we go on. But yeah, this really feels classic. The Eigenfusion lost the tributary to the recent ban list, which this tournament's been played under. But otherwise, these decks are known quantities, very, very strong decks.
Yeah, realistically, both players have quite a few reps on this matchup.
Am I right in thinking these two are teammates? Is that right?
No, I think King is in tiebreakers, and Pentagon is, I think, Montal Bost, I think.
Okay. So, Pentagon and the King, both incredibly good players. And we see we've got Charlotte in the remote.
Yeah, I think Donald is kind of just happy that the Charlotte is sitting there. Like, your money doesn't actually matter in this game. And if your remote is clogged by a econ asset, you're not actually trying to push out anything.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what we're going to see, right, is if this Hashiko can establish R&D lock, then that will be total dominance. Although bacterial programming really puts a spanner in those works. There are a lot of lines that can come off the back of a bacterial score that can prevent the Hashiko from just doing that total domination that we might expect. But yeah, 26 credits and 3 on a fermenter. It's looking good.
Yeah, 2
and we do
twinning
spy
charges
at
and
the end.
everything. So you really just cannot keep agenda safe in HQ at all. You kind of just have to push them out and try somehow, some way taxing out the corporation. I think if you can push out an like Nisei Mark II, you might be able to set up a point where you can advance, install advance and 3-pointer, but getting that first Nisei might be problematic.
Yeah, we've got a lot of challenges to overcome here as Aghan Fusion. Firing a subliminal, so that's a new card in the remote. And it's worth remembering, any one card that would have stayed in HQ there would have got moored. And it would be very easy for the king to check every card in HQ. So we'll see. I would expect from this point on, we're going to challenge everything in the remote, and we're going to try and establish R&D lock. Let's see how that pans out.
Feels like R&D, running R&D is just using resources because the agendas are coming from like into HQ, so it doesn't actually kind of matter but if you steal them from R&D or HQ. Like the multi-axis just sitting there, you probably...
Rising the Anansi fully breaking. Seeing a border control. Now, border control is interesting here. 2 border controls, and that Nisei counter could... and the Biovolt. It does mean that...
Yeah, like this just can go through, but
it will cost a lot.
Yeah, you're basically just exchanging like all of your resources into a Nisei counter and 2 points.
Yeah,
so you just have to rebuild.
This run cost Hashiko 6 credits and is going to get paid back 3 of them. So let's see how we go. But we are popping the Biovolt, which means 2 clicks left. Now the king knows that Wentagon can keep him out of the server. And
yeah, but at what cost though? Using so many resources.
So it looks like the king is forcing Wentagon to use all of those resources, use the Nisei counter, use the border control, and then I'm going to put you in a position where you can never score another agenda.
Yeah, realistically, this might end up being a situation where Wentagon just tries rebuilding the remote, shuffling back those border controls, trying to build a remote that actually can stop the runner again, but that will take a long time. And the general now king just gets through though. Oh, just in Charlotte. Yeah.
Oh, very nice, very nice. If you know that, so the Charlotte in there as bait, trying to use up some of these resources, and if you don't pop the Biovolt, they're going to get in and trash that very cheap. It's much more, for this bait, makes sense to use the Biovolt, but not use the border control or the Nisei counter. I don't know what good baiting the runner is in this situation. And the choice not to trash the Lacosta is also interesting.
Yeah, you just try and get that Maw trigger. Or was there a card in hand?
There was, yeah.
Yeah, just Maw trigger value, I guess.
More genotype.
Oh, second one. Yeah, shuffling back those Biovolts and just Econa currently. And just clicking for credits in the meantime. Are we going R&D this turn? Like, this feels like a turn where we probably should. Or could, if you want to. Like, corporation is 9 credits. So max you're getting taxed out is like 3 credits during the run.
Yeah. If it were me, I would be running R&D here. I think that, Wentagon on 9 credits, any amount of money that you can force Wentagon to spend in this situation is going to be much worse for him than it is for you. Hammer, that's a nice 3 credit tax. But Wentagon down on 3 credits now, and we're going to lock the top 3 cards of R&D.
Yeah, just using bunker instead.
Oh, of
Taking
course,
those
it's a
3 credits.
bank card server. Cool, blimey. When you're
So
on
actually,
33 credits, yeah, okay, that's why we've got these resources, and like
yeah, and you're not going to
there's a lot.
play these anymore. Like Miss Bones, the Prior, Steel Skin don't actually do anything for you currently.
Yeah, it's just Thimblerig. Yeah, we may see here you could move over the border control and the run. We're moving over the Sison town. Okay, yeah, we
Oh
want
yeah.
you to pay to get in. 6 credits each time. Let's see how we go.
How many cards will we see? Is this
You
just
got to
good?
think it's 3.
I would
Maybe we're
assume,
worried
yeah.
about the poor paladin value.
Eating up like bacterial into something could be nasty, but realistically, I don't see any threat in there.
Steal
Finding the
bacterial.
bacterial last access though, adding 7 to hand could be problematic here.
That was access 2,
Oh,
apparently.
there's one more, yeah. But
Interesting.
still,
Okay.
like you can
So
add
you got
like
access
7 or 6
4.
cards into hand and
Yeah,
push
we put
out on
snare
server
on the top
1
of the
here.
deck, 6 cards and into HQ. Maybe we do something there.
Yeah, just
32 credits on the runner's side. You gotta wonder. And yeah, it's often a question of a point like this for Wenticon, right? You fired the bacterial. You know that if you draw 7 cards, Hashiko's going to see 3 brand new cards on R&D next turn. But if you leave cards on R&D to slow Hashiko down, she's coming for HQ. So there's really nowhere safe except for maybe that remote server. And we're in the tank, the bacterial
yeah, that
tank.
usually takes a bit of time to start actually
Wow,
resolving.
0 cards added to HQ. 0 cards discarded. What does that tell you? I don't think I've ever seen that before. But do you think that means there's a lot of agendas or no agendas?
Yeah, it really depends. Like adding 6 feels like a thing you typically would do. So maybe R&D is just top of like agendas and everything, allowing you, or ice, I mean, allowing you to
If
actually
we see
get
something
econ in the meantime.
interesting playing down that second cleaver, I don't
Yeah,
know
just
what.
taking the twinning counter, I believe,
Oh, I see.
and
Okay.
saving paladin.
Okay, so you got to think here. What we might like clicking for 3 credits, that must feel a little rough. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a sprint or another genotyping played in the next few turns, just so that Wenticon gets that position where R&D is safe, and then you get to break lock on your own terms.
Yeah, that could be an option. Not seeing it's last turn though. Nothing in archives, and even still. We have seen Lotus fill in the archives as a tool.
Oh wow! That's playing around Leech crew decks.
Yeah, like just Leech crew. Probably really annoying as to deal as a criminal, but Tatubola, yeah, makes complete sense here.
Will you get your money? No. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
we
there
will
it
get
is.
our money.
Plus 2 credits. Just nice
Not
value.
bad.
But yeah, it will be the only time Tatubola is firing this game, I would presume, with more just taking care of the Armadillo, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just adding Econ back to hand.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're at this point. We've played the Ashen 4 turns ago. We've got 8 cards left in the stack. We've got 39 credits. It's really just a matter of making these resources last as long as possible.
I'm actually running out of the second Ashen here.
Yeah, currently the runner could run R&D 5 times and not run out of credits. It's you've got to be feeling good with all of that money. Would you move the Anansi over here?
I don't know, like server 1 even still would be so weak.
As Wentagon here, I'd really feel as if I'd essentially already lost this game, and it was just you're just trying to play to your really minimal outs, which is always the right thing to do. C3 cards, nothing.
Yeah, I think those are 3 cards that Corporation arranged on top of there. So I think
I don't think it's bad to check them. I
yeah,
think
like you
might have
just often
expected them
bottom all of
very
your
legit.
agendas, so it could have been just sitting there, but I think Pentagon just didn't see anything in there.
Wow. If you were playing in this tournament, Axu, what decks would you have been bringing?
Hoshiko PD, you know me.
uh, are there any cards from Rebellion Without Rehearsal that you're playing in PD these days?
Me personally, no. I think some people
Oh,
might
interesting.
be playing something, but it just didn't really get anything.
It didn't need anything. It's
Yeah, yeah.
still one of the best decks.
I think the set was more hype for like Arizona and everybody.
Yeah,
With it,
Arisana definitely,
yeah,
you
huge
know,
winner of the set. Like,
yeah, it was a great deck, great tier 2 deck, maybe even tier 1 deck last meta. Now, clearly, definitely tier 1 deck.
yeah,
And yeah, would it have been this? Because you're in a team with the king, right?
mm-hmm.
Is this a list that you're all playing the same card, or are you all one or two cards different
I
at
think
the
some
end?
people might have taken an Arizona list that we were
Okay.
talking about, but yeah, like this. I was talking with the king about this list, and I was not a fan of some of the includes, but
Let me guess. Is it the Ashen Epilogue? Because the Ashen
despite
Epilogues turned out to be great this game.
despite my endless trash talking on Ashen Epilogue, I actually have been coming around to it quite a
Oh,
bit,
good, good.
just because it allows you to play prize, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, the price and Bankart are just such incredible value cards. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
and we're just taking
My
care
good.
of the La Costa grid in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, once you got the handed down, why not? We're
Yeah,
down to 24 credits. It's a frighteningly low total for this Hashiko. The lowest we've been at in about 5 turns. Interesting, yeah, time on the round could be a factor.
yeah, but realistically, do you ever see Corporation getting that agenda point anywhere?
No. What can we do? Not without a Biovolt.
I think your only chance is like install advanced, advanced score a hybrid release.
Hybrid release. Interesting. Okay. And I just do love that board state from the Shikada. Triple draw. Right. We've
And
got 3 counters on 20. We can sweep both HQ and R&D this turn.
yeah, even if you, I don't know if you even need to. You can just sit back, click for credits.
Yeah, I mean, if it were me, I'd definitely sweep both, but I am maybe greedy. Bankart HQ.
Yeah, I think
Running R&D
looks like you were
first.
correct. Just going R&D first, trying to hunt down
Yeah,
for
get
those
R&D,
agendas.
C3 cards, knock 1 card out of HQ, run HQ, see all of those. Turn off any threats.
Like, I think
Seeing.
Ventagon's only out here is General or King saying a bacterial programming, and it allowing
Yeah,
you
love
to
that.
actually score out. But I think in like, because the game is timed, I think that kind of seals the game in another way.
It does feel like it. Yeah. most of the other games are now reported. I think we're seeing a healthy balance of runner and corp wins. Not too one-sided. Okay, so we know that the runner isn't going to win on this axis.
Yeah, not
2 cards go into
currently.
HQ.
But I
We've
believe
got a few
King is probably
favorites.
going HQ after this. Just flushing all of the cards that you could add.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Oh,
clicking
just clicking for
credits.
credits. Yeah.
Rude and respectful in equal measure.
Oh, and there is some sort of a push. But you just
Is
have two.
there,
You have two end runs, which just is not enough.
unless there's an Anoetic in the
Oh,
list?
Anoetic Void could be something. Yeah. That means you get 4 end runs, which allows you to score at something.
Although I don't know the King's List card for card, but there are no pinhole threadings appearing in any.
Looks like the influence is quite tight with 2 bones and a diesel with
Oh yeah, we did.
turbine.
We looked like we might have pinholes for a diesel. Interesting.
Yeah,
Anna,
oh yeah,
Anna
wheels
made.
also allowing you to get in here.
Well, we were having conversations in EA Sports earlier in the week, and people talked about, is the wheel still a tech card that we need? This matchup, PD, ASA, all of those corp decks that are around at the moment that are just trying to do a little bit of click taxing. I love the wheels.
Yeah, probably
The
sports metal quite a good include as in there as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Being
but
able to just that turn where they really try and force a score, being able to just have 6 clicks to run the remote server,
then
incredible value.
we're going through Anansi and Brand like 4 times this run, this turn. Like, oh, Adrian says, yeah,
Oh, lovely! I love to see that. That's great.
just
Uh,
not enough though. Adrian says maximum allows you to get 2. Yeah, there it is.
GG's,
Yeah,
GG's.
King just
Very
managing
fun.
it. Like, when they're probably not getting the early aggression you can need against this. Need
Runner
against this
credits
Hoshiko deck.
gained 167.
Cards drawn 65.
Yeah, 0 cards left in the stack after the Ashen. You gotta love it. Oh, absolutely wonderful. Right, I think that's the end of round 1.
Yeah, and there might be a small technical break. Forgive me
Really?
for a second. Yeah, I might be getting it on the correct channel for a second. Yeah, see you everybody after
Okay.
the round starts.
Okay, cool. Yeah.